My name is Isabella Broden and I am the founder of Oramai, London. For me, ethical fashion is when something is produced right in the way that the people that have produced your garment, they are paid a fair wages and they're also made in a safe environment for them. Sustainable fashion, on the other hand, I feel is more about the materials and the future, that it's made the right way, it's natural materials, it's hopefully produced organic, and together, for me, that's create what fashion should be today. At Oramai, I think that I'm producing clothes for the woman, modern woman. Now, who is the modern woman? For me, she is someone that's conscious. She knows that she doesn't need 100 dresses. She needs fewer dresses that will last her a longer lifespan. Hopefully, she can give it on to her daughter, etc. And she's someone that knows that we need to change our behavior of shopping today. I feel that her idea of ethics is exactly that we don't want to wear a t-shirt that costs £4 because it means that the people that have produced it, the farmer that made the whatever material it's made of, and the manufacturer that sewed the t-shirt will not be able to survive and live a sustainable life. Now, for me, it's one of the key things in my brand that I chose to only work with GOTS certified organic materials, and I choose linen. So, why is it sustainable? Is because it's 100% biodegradable, it needs very little irrigation during growth, and it also doesn't need any pesticides. So that was why I choose to work with organic linen for my brand. And from an ethical point of view, it is all produced in Belgium. It's a fourth generation of farmers, and I had the pleasure to meet them actually. And this is how my whole brand started, because they wanted to go back to farm how their generation, like 4 generations before them, used to farm, which was organic. And I got really excited when I heard about this project, and I made my first dress with them, and I'm very proud to still be working with them. And to be considered linen, for example, it's easy to be like, oh, this linen is made in, for example, Italy. But then when you dig into it, it turns out that the flax has been grown in China, it was spun in Indonesia, and suddenly you realize that this linen plant has been traveling the whole world before getting into a dress. So what I did as research before I decided to choose to work with anyone was to make sure that wherever the linen plant is grown, which is called flax, that my linen would be spun and dyed at the same place. So for example, our linen is all grown in Belgium because they have been doing that since the medieval ages, and it's a great heritage over there. They have a factory within a kilometer of where the plant is grown. So when you harvest it, you take the whole plant, you go into the factory, and you spin it. And it's all made with CO2 neutral machines, so they're all solar panel, sorry. And it all happens there on local basis. So I'm very proud to be working with them. Now, all my designs are very, I would say, timeless, elegant, and classical. Now, they all have a twerk. Like, for example, I'm wearing a jumpsuit, which, is made with linen. You can't really see it. Here we go. And it's a classical design. It has a collar. It's safari inspired with the pockets, because I went to Lamo. And, it's a classical design, but it's something that for me, you can wear forever. And I feel fashion today, with all the trends, it's not very sustainable, and we need to go back into our wardrobes and be like, what do I actually need, and how could I wear this same piece in different ways? And for me, that's how nostalgia inspired me. I look back a lot of vintage clothing and what my mom used to wear. She has an amazing wardrobe, and again, like if I compared my teenage wardrobe to hers, then I had 200 dresses or crazier, and she had those 3 dresses that just worked for every occasion, and she just styled it differently. And that's what I think is very important today. I started my brand by focusing on sustainability. Now, for me, that was to use organic linen, like the Lamo jumpsuit I'm wearing, using all the detailing. This, for example, is made from a Corozo bottom, which is a nut. So nothing plastic in any of my productions. And I had the possibility to do that because I started from nothing. So if you look into one of the big fashion companies today, it's hard when you already have a lot of relationship with previous manufacturers, etc., to just overnight changing, which I think is the luxury in new brands, that we can choose to specific be sustainable, ethical, etc. However, every day I'm evolving and every day I learn new things, so I can't say that it's a little static. This is how sustainable I am today and tomorrow. It's every day I learn something new, and it's very exciting. I future is very uncertain, especially now with COVID and everything that's going on. But I hope and I strongly believe that we are awakening, and as humans, we're realizing that we need to drastically change our behavior. We cannot produce as much as we've been doing, and now I'm not speaking only about fashion, I'm speaking about everything. And that we will enter this sustainable thinking, and that's going to be the new way of thinking. And for me, today we have all the tools and materials that we don't have to be not sustainable. You can pay your manufacturer the right price, and you can choose organic materials. And I feel there's no excuse anymore to not be doing things the right way. And I think that the consumer should expect things to be made the most environmental friendly way today. And that should be both sustainable luxury, but also the future of clothing. I found my love in Portofino. If you look into your everyday, there's so much you can do. I discovered recycling. I became a recycling fanaticer, but it's actually really fun now. I have this hobby called trash. But it's very good because suddenly you realize that when you go to the supermarket and you buy the tomatoes that are wrapped in plastic, even though they say organic, then maybe don't choose those, because do you really need those plastic? So just question your everyday habits, basically. Or do you need to drive the car to the supermarket? You could actually bicycle or walk. And, do you really need that new iPhone, or the one you have actually quite works? Or why don't you buy a used one? Just start questioning your everyday life choices. And if everyone does that, there's so much change that we can be doing. So don't give up. Embrace this new era that I hope we're all embarking on too. And let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to answer any. Bye, guys.